जी सर।
Yeah. So once again, welcome to the workshop. I love money. So today we are going to talk about a very important concept. So that concept is about manifestation. So prior to this, what we have talked about seven hermetic principles. Seven hermetic principles which talked about the operating principles, like how the universe is actually operating, what are the principles that are governing the universe. We have discussed yesterday in that first is the principle of materialism, all is mind. Then we talked about the law of correspondence or the principle of correspondence. Then we talked about the principle of vibration. Then we talked about the principle of polarity. Then we talked about the principle of rhythm. Then we talked about the principle of cause and effect. And then we talked about the principle of gender. So this is actually setting the ground, the operating ground. Now we are going to talk about manifestation. Like what exactly is the manifestation we are going to talk? See, as human beings, we all have dreams and desires. So now we are going to talk about the second thing, the seven secrets. So I was actually talking about the seven principles which are controlling the universe. And then we are going to talk about the seven secrets. What are these seven secrets? So, as human beings, we all have dreams and desires throughout our life. See, when we are born, when we are tiny beings, we had certain likes and dislikes. We want certain things. As we are growing up, we are coming up with more and more dreams and desires. Means at every phase of life, we are having so many dreams and desires. So when these dreams and desires they get fulfilled, we tend to become very happy. But if these dreams and desires are not getting manifested, what happens? We tend to become very frustrated. So the key to our happiness in life lies in the fulfillment or non-fulfillment of these dreams and desires. So tell me one person who is not having any dream or desire. In fact, there cannot be any exception. Like even people who are ready to die, even they have some desire. That desire is that they want to attain moksha. Having these kind of desires means like in our life journey we'll encounter many dreams and desires. Like so, if we know how to fulfill these dreams, we'll be very happy. If we can't, we won't be very happy. So, what percentage of our dreams and desires they get manifested? Can you guess, like how many dreams and desires do we really manifest?
Sir,
Maybe
what's your
50-50, sir.
How many?
50%, sir. 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
70%?
Pardon?
70.
7-0. Any other opinion? Yeah, anybody else?
10 to 20%, sir.
10 to 20%. Okay. Yeah, in fact, if you look at people, they differ in their ability to manifest their dreams and desires. Some people they have the ability to manifest most of their dreams and desires, whereas some other people, on the other end, their dreams and desires they materialize very rarely. So, and for ordinary people, around 30 to 50% of the dreams they will be manifested. The rest of the things they don't get manifested. So how we can actually make our dreams and desires come true? Is there any specific process? Is it that some people they are born lucky so that whatever they have, any desire they have, it gets manifested? Is it like that? Or is it that some people are really blessed by God so that their dreams are getting materialized. So it is not the case. In fact, dreams and desires, there is a process called manifestation. So for example, you want to buy a house. There are some people who wants to buy a house, but they can never buy a house. There are some people who wants to have a car, but they cannot have a car. There are some people who wants to have good bank balance. They can't have it. So throughout their life, they'll be struggling and suffering to manifest their dreams. So is there any automated mechanism wherein you have a desire and it is getting fulfilled? Or is it that you have a dream, you pray to God, and God will come and help you in manifesting these things? It is not like that. In fact, there is a process, a universal process, which is involved in terms of manifesting our dreams and desires. So today in this session, we are going to talk about the secrets that are involved in the process of manifestation. The word manifestation means fulfillment of your dreams and desires. For example, you have a desire of getting some lottery ticket. That is your desire. And in reality, if you are going to win a lottery ticket, then we can say that your desire has manifested physically. So all the desires, where are they? They are inside us, means they are part of our inner being or inner world. But where are we witnessing? We are witnessing in the outer world. So the very process of transformation of inner dreams and desires into materialistic reality is what is known as manifestation. And manifestation is a universal process. Many of you might have come across the concept of the law of attraction. So they say that, okay, whatever you are actually thinking, it gets manifested. Yes, that is one of the law. That is also manifestation. But as most people think, there is not just one law which is involved in the process of manifestation. In fact, there are certain laws which we need to really consider in order to have a successful manifestation of our dream or desire into our physical reality. Now let us explore what these secrets are. Yeah. So in the process of manifestation, there are 7 factors which are involved in it. There are 7 factors, and these factors are A, B, C, D, E, F. We can say that these are the factors which are involved in the process of manifestation. So what do these letters A, B, C, D stand for? So in the process of manifestation, first and foremost thing is desire. So this letter D stands for desire. Everything in this universe starts with a desire. If there is no desire, you cannot see anything. You want to build a house. What is it? It's a desire, a craving. You want to have a house. It's a desire. Only when you have a desire, you'll get something outside in the outer world. If you don't have the desire, you'll not get anything. You have a desire for buying a car. Before you really buy a car, there is a desire. Means desire always precedes whatever is coming. So that is how we can say that everything is created twice. First in the heart, and then in the physical world. Everything in this world is created twice. First in the inner world, and then it appears in the outer world. So it starts with D, that is desire. After desire, the most important thing is B, which stands for belief. Belief means your assumption whether it is going to happen or not, belief. So you might think that, okay, you want to buy a car, you have a strong desire of buying a car, but is your belief saying yes or no? That is going to matter a lot. If your desire is saying, yes, I want to have it, but if your belief says that you cannot have it, then obviously your manifestation potential is going to suffer. Belief is something which can make or break. Without belief, without proper belief, without positive belief, you cannot manifest anything in this world. So desire is there, belief is there. So you have to consider a combination of desire is very high, but belief is low. What will happen? Obviously, the manifestation probability is low. But if you have a strong desire and if you have a strong belief, what is going to happen? The chances of manifestation is high. So after D, after B comes what? A. A stands for action. So it's not enough that you have a strong desire and strong belief. In fact, you should also have strong action, positive action. Without taking any action, it is not possible for you to actually see any result. So that is about action. Then comes E, which stands for emotion. Emotion plays a strong role in the manifestation process. Positive emotions and negative emotions. Is your emotion positive emotion or not really matters in terms of manifesting what you want or what you don't want. And then comes the letter F, which stands for focus. And then comes C, consistency. So all these parameters or factors, they should be high. You should have a strong desire. You should have a strong belief. You should have a strong action. You should have positive emotion, and you should have strong focus. And then you should always be consistent. Only then you will be able to materialize things in your life. So we talked about 7 secrets, and here we see only 6. What is the missing letter? The missing letter is K, which stands for karma. Even if all these things are high, if your karmic entitlement is not high, then obviously you will not be able to manifest anything. So this is about the ABCD of manifestation, and these are the 7 secrets that we are going to discuss now. So the first and foremost thing is desire. What is a desire? We all have desires throughout our life. What is the desire? Desire is nothing but an inner urge. You want to have something which you're not having. For example, you don't have money. You want to get money. So that is an urge, inner urge. You want to get into a job. That is also a desire. You want to be admired and appreciated by people. That is also a desire. You want to be spiritually enlightened. Even that is a desire. You want to buy a house. It's a desire. You want to get married to so and so person. It's a desire. Like that, if you look at human life is filled with so many desires, right from the stage of birth till the time of death. So it is not possible for us to actually say we should not have desires or you want to get rid of desires. So now let us see what exactly these desires are. So at one point in time, Lord Buddha says that the source of struggle and suffering in this world is nothing but desire. So if you want to be very happy and joyful in your life, what he says is you should remove desire. Means the source of sorrow in this world is desire. Destroy desire and then ends sorrow. So he has advocated that since desire is the source of all sorrow, if you remove all the desires, then obviously you don't have any source for misery. You'll be very happy. That's what he says. Of course, it might work. There is some truth in this line of thinking, but it is not a practical solution for many people. Like it is not possible for us to actually give up everything and sit in meditation and live life like that. It is not possible. So, if you give up all the desires, what will happen? Everybody will turn into monks. Nothing will be there. But we should understand that desire is the source of creation. We can say that desire is the womb of creation. So, man, when he was born without wings, but he has seen birds flying in the air. So, in that case, even man had developed a desire to fly. Perhaps if man had not seen a flying thing, maybe he wouldn't have invented an aircraft. But since he has seen it, you could understand that, okay, he is not able to fly, but there are some creatures which are flying. And he was fantasizing with the idea of flying. What if he can also fly? How nice it would be. He started thinking on those lines. And then he did lot of research, like he initially tried to imitate the bird which can fly, but he could not fly. Then he started working, and finally he's able to come up with an object called an aircraft, which can take us from different places, allow us to fly to different places. Today, the great aviation industry, which has got so many people dependent on it, have benefited from the initial urge of man to fly. So, from where this aircraft came, the aviation industry, from where aviation industry has come into existence, it has come from the desire of human beings to fly. If there is no desire, maybe we wouldn't have invented the aircraft, and maybe we wouldn't have been having an aircraft at all. But since we have a desire, we started building things. That is how human beings are quite different from other beings. Human beings have the creative power. So we can say that desire is the womb of creation. So since desire is the womb of creation, if you say that desire is bad, that is not at all correct. There is a lot of difference between desire and greed. Many people misunderstand, or rather they wrongly use desire and greed. Desire is something which is a sacred thing, which is allowing man to actually unleash his creative dimension. So from where the desire is coming? The desire is coming from a contrasting situation. As we know, we are living in a world of polarity, duality, like light versus dark, dark versus light, heavy versus light, okay, rich versus poor. Like that, there are many contrasting situations in our life. Because of these contrasting situations, the desire is emerging. When you don't have money, you develop a desire for money. When you don't have power, you develop an urge for power. Like that, the desire is actually coming from a contrasting situation. That's how we can say that contrast is the mother of desire. So this desire is actually invoking the creative potential of man. Man, as we know, is a direct creation of God. Means man has got so many qualities comparable to that of God. So God is love. Even man is capable of loving. God is a creator, so man is also creator. Means with his creative spark, he was able to transform the world from this state into this state. God created earth like this, but man has actually made earth like this. Means he is able to create something out of nothing. Means whatever material he's having, he's able to manipulate that matter, and then he's able to make the creation. So that's how we can say that man is the co-creator. Means man has got the potential of creation. But from where this creative energy is coming, what is the starting point? The desire
Mind.
starting point. Unless you have desire, you cannot do anything. If you look at man and God, the relationship between man and God is like, if you take a magnet, we all know what a magnet is. If you take a magnet and break a small piece out of it, the broken magnet, the small little magnet, will also behave exactly like a big magnet. Means the essential properties are one and the same. It will attract, it will repel. That is how it behaves. Means the essential nature of the small piece broken from the bigger magnet remains the same as that of bigger magnet, but only it differs in the magnitude. To what extent? Similarly, man is a derivative of God. Man came from God. So man has retained all the properties of God, but in a very, very minuscule scale, like a small broken piece of magnet. So we have great creative spark in us. Like when we have to define God, we say that God means He is the creator, He created everything. We say that He is the master, He created everything. That kind of creative energy, that kind of creative power is also existing in man. Every human being is born with creative potential, but unfortunately, very few people, they take out the creative power and put it to use and they benefit from these things. So the mechanism which is involved in sparking or igniting the creative power is desire. So that is how we say that desire is a sacred thing. It's a very pure thing, which is nothing but the womb of creative energy. So we should not despise saying that, oh, we should not have too many desires. Many people, especially parents, they condemn their children saying that, no, 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 don't have too many desires. That is a wrong concept. You should have so many desires. You should have big, big dreams. Like how our ex-president Abul Kalam said, dare to dream, care to achieve. Like you should have big, big dreams. There is nothing wrong in dreaming big. You should always think big, big, dream big, and you should achieve it with the power you have. Instead of giving up on desires, you should know how to achieve it. So at different stages, we get different desires. So when you are a kid, you have certain desires, but once you cross that phase, you will develop another set of desires. Like that, life is nothing but a constant pursuit of our dreams and desires. So desire is something which is inalienable to man. Means if you want to remove desires from man, it is not at all possible. Desires are very much part of human life. So if you look at desires, we can actually segregate desires into 4 basic types. The first type is the survival desires, wherein as human beings living in societies, we need to have some kind of survival mechanism. Means we need to have certain things in place in order to live safely. Like we need to have a house. So that is a basic desire. There is nothing wrong in craving for a house because we have to protect ourselves from weather conditions. So we need to have a safe and secure place to live. It should be free from all kind of animals and pests. Otherwise, your life is in danger. So some desires, like desire for a house, desire for food, desire for clothes, desire for income, all this, they come under survival desires. We have another type of desires, which is very, very important. That is what is known as socially engineered desires. So in this case, the desires, they don't originate from the person. In fact, they are actually the result of social engineering. Like for example, even if I don't want to become an engineer, I become an engineer because of the society pressure. So if I say that I want to pursue arts, when engineering, medicine are very popular, people will say, what will you do with the arts? You need to do, better do engineering so that you'll get a job or become a medical professional. Like that, it starts from the family. Within the family, we keep saying, okay, you have to be like that, you have to be like this. Means they put some expectation. And though we really don't like it, we will pursue it. So this is best illustrated in 3 Idiots movie, wherein people want to be something, but the system forces them to be something. Those desires are known as socially engineered desires. You don't have the real desire inside the heart, but you pick up the desire and start believing that it is your desire and you'll start living for it. But there is no guarantee that this kind of desires will be manifested because it is not radiating from inside. So many people, they really don't have a lot of urge for making money, but looking at people around them, they feel that, okay, they also should do it. And they also start putting their efforts in terms of actually achieving these goals. But most often these kind of efforts will fail because there is no inner urge, real inner urge. So if this dream has to be manifested, there should be a real inner urge. Without that, we won't be able to really achieve it. So people who are attending money workshop today, some of you might not be really having strong craving for desire for money, but you thought, okay, it is a social expectation, so let me try. You might have developed this kind of things. But if you really want to achieve it, you should actually transform this socially engineered desire into a real desire. Okay? So 80% of our desires, they fall into this category, social engineered desires. Then we have life purpose desire. So there are certain desires which we get because of our life mission or life theme. Some people, they get inspired looking at doctors. Some people, they get inspired looking at engineers. Some people, they get inspired looking at actors. Like that, different people have different inspirations. All these are because of their life themes. When they come into this world, they pick up some mission. So, in alignment with those missions, people will start getting some kind of desires. So, basically, I'm an engineer, I'm a computer engineer, I'm a technologist, I was into entrepreneurship. But suddenly, I developed some kind of passion for conducting these kind of spiritual workshops. There is a desire. Before I started conducting these kind of workshop, I was inspired by a dream. I had a dream wherein I'm actually talking to people, trying to inspire them, trying to trigger their passions, and I'm trying to actually influence them in a positive manner. I got that desire. Because of that desire, I'm actually doing these workshops, and it could be a life purpose. So my life purpose could be that I should talk to people, inspire them, and I should be able to actually take them onto the path of spirituality. Maybe that is the role I have taken up during this incarnation, and that's the reason why I developed a desire to get into these kind of spiritual workshops. It could be like that. So other type of desire is the karmic obligation. So what is this karmic obligation? So this is not the first time that we have come into this world, nor this is going to be the last time that we are here on earth. So we have been here several times. So each time we come with a bag of karmas, and then while on earth, we actually indulge in karmas, some good karmas, some bad karmas, like that we accumulate. And whatever karma we have accumulated, it has to be neutralized. So in order to neutralize, we come into this world again and again, and then we perform certain activities either to neutralize existing karmas or maybe to generate more karmas. So some of the desires are originating from this karmic obligation. For example, out of blue, you had a desire of actually starting a new company. You're well settled, you're having good income from an employment, but all of a sudden you feel like, okay, I should become an entrepreneur, and then you start a company and you put all your savings in it, and then you start working. But after some time, you lose all the money, you are totally broken. That could be a result of your karmic obligation. So you might have personally lost, but the money that you have invested must have gone into the hands of some people who, who would have lost their money because of you in some incarnation. This is only an example, saying that some desires, they originate from our karmic obligations. Some desires, they originate from our life purposes. Some desires, they originate from our socially engineered system. And some desires, they arise from survival necessities. These are the four types of desires we should understand. Okay, so whether a desire is going to be fulfilled or not depends much on the strength of the desire. Though we have so many desires, there are some desires which are very, very strong, which we say that at any cost we should have them. Without them, we are not going to live. We are having that kind of passion. So we are ready to jump into fire even to get that kind of desire. Such like desires are known as burning desires. Some people have so much of strong desires, they're ready to die for it. So during our independence movement, there are many people who have sacrificed their life because they had a desire that India should be liberated from foreign rule. Means some desires, they are very, very strong. You're ready to die for those things. At other times, there are certain desires which you really don't care whether it happens or not. You really don't mind. Such like desires, they might not manifest in your life. So every desire is having its own level of strength. You should understand that only when desires have certain strength, they will manifest, otherwise they will not manifest. So when we started off the discussion, we asked how many desires are getting manifested, 100% or 50% or 30%. Some said 30%, some said 50%, some said 70%. It only means that desires which are very, very strong, they tend to manifest, whereas those desires which doesn't have enough strength will dissipate with time. They will disappear with time. So every desire has an inbuilt potential for its manifestation. You have a desire, it has got an inbuilt mechanism to manifest itself. You don't have to do anything. You have a desire, a strong desire. Within that desire, there is a mechanism which can actually manifest it. It's like a seed. If you break open the seed, you find nothing. But within that nothing, everything exists. Within that nothing, that small piece of seed which is broken, you can't see anything, but it contains all the intelligence which will make that seed into a big tree over a period of time. And from this tree, there can be forests. That's how we can say that within the seed, there could be an Amazon forest. So desires are also like that. So if you take a seed and if you put it on the table and keep watching it, nothing happens. But instead, if you put that seed into the soil, put some water into it, then the seed will start growing. Means it requires some kind of breeding ground. When you plant the seed in the breeding ground, what happens? There is an invisible intelligence within the body of seed, which is actually triggering the process of growth, wherein the roots will start growing downward while the stem will start moving up, leaves coming up, leaves transforming into buds, and then flowers into fruits. That is how it is happening. Instead of putting in the ground, if you are just leaving it, nothing will happen. Similarly, our dreams are also like that. Almost every dream has got its own inner power to manifest. Only thing is that it has to be implanted into the breeding ground. In case of dreams, human dreams, what is the breeding ground? Where to implant this? The breeding ground is going to be our belief system. If you want your dream to be manifested, you should ensure that the breeding ground provides adequate support to your desire. And this breeding ground is what? Our own belief system. Our belief system is so powerful that it can make it or break it. If our belief system says, no, it is not possible, obviously it is not going to happen. But if your belief system says, yes, it is possible, then it is possible. In life, everything, we are making an unconscious choice saying that it is possible or it is not possible. That is what we are most of the time either creating or destroying our chances of manifesting our dreams. So the essence is The stronger the desire, the better the chances of manifestation. Yeah, now translation, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
நம் நேற்று 7 ஹெர்மெட்டிக் பிரின்சிபல் என்று பார்த்தோம். ஆல் இஸ் மைண்ட், வைப்ரேஷன், கரஸ்பாண்டன்ஸ் என்றெல்லாம் பார்த்தோம். இன்று அதற்கான 7 சீக்ரெட்ஸ், அதனால ரகசியங்களை என்ன என்பதை பார்ப்போம். நாம் எல்லோருக்கும் ஆசை கனவுகள் உள்ளன. வயது ஆக ஆக ஆசைகள் கனவுகள் அதிகமாகின்றன. சில ஆசைகள் நிறைவேறுகின்றன, சில ஆசைகள் நிறைவேறாத ஆசை விரக்தியில் முடியும். மேனிஃபெஸ்டேஷன், வெளிப்பாடு என்பதை பற்றி பார்ப்போம். அதற்கு முக்கியமான தேவை ட்ரீம் அண்ட் டிசைர். இது இருந்தால்தான் ப்ராசஸ் ஆஃப் மேனிஃபெஸ்டேஷன் மூலம் வெளிப்பாடு மூலம் அதை நாம் வெளிக்கொண்டு முடியும். ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக, அதாவது எதுவும் தானாக நடப்பதில்லை. அதற்கு தேவையான சக்தியையும் ஊட்டத்தையும் கொடுத்து சூழ்நிலை உருவாக்கினால்தான் எதுவும் முடியும். ஆசைகள் மனதில் உள்ளதை வெளிப்படுத்துவதே, நடைமுறைப்படுத்துவதே எப்படி என்று இன்று நாம் அறிய போகிறோம். We are going to learn how to manifest our desire. ஆசைகளை எப்படி நடைமுறைப்படுத்துவது என்பது பற்றி நாம் அறிய போகிறோம். இந்த ரகசியங்கள் முதலில் நாம் இதற்கு தேவையானது ஆசை. முதன்படி ஆசை என்பதே முதன்படியாகும். உள்மனதில் அது உருவாகிறது, பிறகு அது வெளிமனதில் உருவப்படுத்துகிறது. பிறகு நம்பிக்கையால் தான் எதுவும் நடக்கும். நம்பிக்கையின்மையால் எதுவும் நடக்க முடியாது. 3வது ஆக்ஷன், செயல். 4வது உணர்ச்சி. கடைசியாக கார்மிக் என்டைட்டில்மெண்ட், அதாவது விதியின் பிரகாரம் நடக்குமா நடக்காதா என்பதாகும். ஆனால் நாம் முதலில் நாம் செய்ய வேண்டியதை செய்தால் விதி தன்னுடைய கடமையை பின்னால் செய்யும். நமக்கு இன்னர் அர்ஜ் உள்ளது, அதாவது உள் மனதில் உத்வேகம் உள்ளது. புகழ், வேலை, திருமணம், ஆன்மீக வளர்ச்சி போன்ற எல்லாமே ஆசையின் காரணமாக தான் வருகிறது. புத்தர் சொன்னார், ஆசை அழித்துவிடு என்று. அப்படியானால் எல்லாரும் சன்னியாசி ஆகிவிட வேண்டுதான். ஆனால் அதன் பொருள் அதல்ல. எந்த கிரியேஷனுக்கும், எந்த உற்பத்திக்கும் ஆசைதான் காரணம். உதாரணமாக, பறவையை கண்டான், விமானம் படைத்தான். அது பறக்க வேண்டும் என்ற ஆசை இருந்ததால்தான் அவன் நவீன விமானங்கள் மூலம், ஏகப்பட்ட டெக்னாலஜி மூலம், தொழில்நுட்பங்களால் பலவித விமானங்கள் உருவாகின்றன. பிறகு அப்படியானால் என்ன சொன்னார்? அவர் சொன்னது கிரீட் என்ற அர்த்தம், அதாவது பேராசை கூடாது என்றுதான் சொன்னார், தவிர ஆசை கூடாது என்று சொல்லவில்லை. ஏனென்றால் ஆசை அவசியம், பேராசை அல்ல. இருட்டை கண்டால்தான் வெளிச்சத்தை உருவாக்க முடியும். அதே போலதான் எதையும், ஒரு வியாதியை கண்டால்தான் ஆரோக்கியத்தை உருவாக்க முடியும். அதுபோன்று எந்த ஒரு எதிர்மறையை கண்டால்தான் நேர்மறையை உருவாக்க முடியும். வேறுபாடுகள் இருப்பதால் தான் உற்பத்தி என்ற செயல் நடைபெறுகிறது. சொல்ல போனால் நாம் கோ கிரியேட்டர், அதாவது இறைவனும் நாம் மனிதனும் இணைந்துதான் எதையும் உருவாக்குகிறான். மேலும் காந்தத்தை உடைத்தால் சிறிய துண்டுகளாகும். அந்த சிறிய துண்டும் காந்தமாகவே இருக்கும். அதே போலத்தான் கடவுளினுடைய ஒரு பகுதி, ஒரு சிறிய துரும்புதான், தூள் தான் நாம். கடவுளுக்குள்ள சக்தி நமக்கும் இருக்கிறது. அதனால்தான் அதை மேன் இஸ் அ கோ கிரியேட்டர் என்று சொல்லுகிறார்கள். எல்லோரிடம் உற்பத்தி இருக்கிறது, கிரியேட்டிவ் பவர் இருக்கிறது. இதன் ஆரம்பம் ஆசை, டிசைர். எவ்வளவு பெரிய ஆசைகள் உள்ளனவோ அவ்வளவு நல்லது. ஏதோ ஆசைகள் கூடாது என்று பெற்றோர்கள் சொல்லி இருப்பார்கள், அது தவறு. எவ்வளவு ஆசைகள் இருந்தாலும் நல்லது. அது எப்படி அடைவது என்பதுதான் முயற்சியின் முக்கியம். ஆசைகள் வாழ்வின் முக்கிய அங்கம். வீடு வேண்டும் என்ற ஆசைதான் வீடு வாங்குவதற்கான ஒரு சூழ்நிலையை, மனதில் எண்ணத்தை உருவாக்கி, அதை சூழ்நிலையை உருவாக்கி வீட்டை உருவாக்குகிறது. அதே போல்தான் வேலை, திருமணம், நல்ல வாழ்வு, ஆன்மீக முயற்சி எல்லாமே ஒரு ஆசையின் மூலம்தான் உருவாகிறது. சொல்ல போனால் நல்ல கல்வி வேண்டும் என்பது ஆசைதான், நல்ல உடை வேண்டும் என்பது ஆசைதான். அதாவது சர்வைவல் டிசையர், வாழ்வுக்கு தேவையானதே ஆசைதான். ஆசையில் பல பரிமாணங்கள் உள்ளன. அதாவது என்ன என்றால் லைஃப் பர்பஸ், நாம் வாழ்வதற்கு தேவையான ஆசை, அது கல்வி, உடை போன்ற ஆசை. பிறகு சோசியல் இன்ஜினியரிங், அதாவது சமூகத்திற்கு தேவையான ஆசை. இப்போது சமூகத்தில் என்ன வேலை வேண்டும், என்ன தேவையோ அதை நாம் படிப்பதுதான் முக்கியம். நாம் ஏதோ ஒரு தத்துவத்தை பேசிட்டு யாரும் அதற்கு விலை nobody is buying ready to purchase. நாம் சமூக தேவையானவற்றை நாம் உருவாக்குவதுதான் இரண்டாவதாக சோசியல் இன்ஜினியரிங் டிசைன் என்று சொல்லலாம். ஆனால் இதற்கும் பெரிய உத்வேகம் தேவை. நமக்கு பிறகு நம்முடைய ஆசைகள் பல. சொல்ல போனால் 80% ஆசைகள் சமூகம் சார்ந்தவைதான். ஏனென்றால் நாம் ஒரு டாக்டராக ஆக வேண்டும் என்பதோ, இன்ஜினியராக ஆக வேண்டும் என்பதோ, ஒரு நடிகராக ஆக வேண்டும் என்பதோ எல்லாமே சமூகத்தின் தேவைக்காக தான், நமக்காக அல்ல. இவர் சார் நம்முடைய மாஸ்டர் சொன்னதென்றால், இவர் டெல்லிங் அபவுட் ஹிஸ் கேஸ். he is a computer engineer. ஆனால் by the strength of his inner urge, உள்மனதின் உத்வேகத்தால் நான் இந்த வகுப்பை நடத்துகிறேன். லைஃப் பர்பஸ் என்னவென்றால், ஒருவேளை அது என்னுடைய வாழ்வின் பயனாக இருக்கலாம் என்று கூட நான் கருதுகிறேன். ஆக நாம் வாழ்வதற்கு என்ன தேவை என்பதும் ஒரு ஆசையின் மூலம் தான் நடக்கிறதே தவிர தானாக உற்பத்தி ஆகவில்லை. பிறகு கார்மிக் ஆப்ளிகேஷன். பல பிரிவுகளுக்கு பிறகு நாம் மனிதர்களாக ஜனித்திருக்கிறோம். ஏதோ காரணத்தால் இந்த வாழ்வுக்கு வந்திருக்கிறோம். வெற்றி, தோல்வி, லாபம், நஷ்டம் எல்லாமே கர்மாவின் விளைவுதான். வெற்றி, தோல்வி எல்லாமே கர்மாவின் விளைவுதான். அதாவது நாம் பொதுவாக பார்த்தால் ஆசைகளுக்கு 4 காரணம் இருக்கலாம். அதாவது லைஃப் பர்பஸ், சோசியல் இன்ஜினியரிங், சர்வைவல் நெசசிட்டி, கார்மிக் ஆப்ளிகேஷன். நம் இன்பில்ட் இன் மெக்கானிசம், அதாவது மனதில் ஆசை அவ்வளவு உத்வேகத்துடன் எவ்வளவு ஸ்ட்ராங், எவ்வளவு பலமாக இருக்கிறதோ அந்த அளவு நாம் எதையும் உற்பத்தி செய்ய முடியும். ஒரு விதையை உடைத்தால் அதில் ஒன்றும் தெரியாது. We don't see by seeing a seed, breaking a seed, we don't see anything. ஆனால் அதன் உள்ளே பெரிய சக்தி இருக்கிறது. அது மரமாகவோ காடாகவோ வளர முடியும். அது தக்க சூழ்நிலை வேண்டும். அது ஒரு விதையை we keep that seed on the table, nothing will grow. ஒரு மேஜையில் மேய்த்தால் அது நடக்காது. பூமியில் நட்டால் தான் அது முளைத்து நன்கு வளரும். ஆக ட்ரீம், அதுக்கான பிரீடிங் கிரவுண்ட் வேண்டும். இதற்கு மேலும் முக்கியமான ஒன்று நம்பிக்கை, பிலீஃப் சிஸ்டம். அதாவது முடியும் என்றால் நம்பினால் முடியும், முடியாது என்றால் நடக்காது. நம்பினோர் கைவிடப்படார். தேங்க்ஸ், நன்றி.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Leena ji. Hello. Leena ji, can you give Hindi translation?
Sorry.
Yeah, can you give Hindi translation? Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
now I can hear.
Hello?
I can hear now.
Okay. There's a problem.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Continue.
I can't hear you, sir. Hello. Oh my God. Okay. Hello.
Leena ji, we can hear you. Continue, please.
Yeah, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. हमने आगे. Hello.
Yeah, please continue. We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. हमने आगे 7 सिद्धांत सीखे, आज हम अभिव्यक्ति सीखेंगे, जो 7 रहस्य सीखेंगे, यानी अभिव्यक्ति के 7 रहस्य सीखेंगे। मनुष्य होने के कारण हमें बहुत सपने और इच्छाएं होती है, जबकि वह पूरी होती है तब हम खुश होते हैं, और नहीं पूरी होती तभी हम दुखी होते हैं। इसका पूरा होना ही मनुष्य होता है। जितनी इच्छाएं आपकी पूरी होती है या सक्रिय होती है, इच्छाओं की अभिव्यक्ति होती है या उनका प्राकट्य होता है, वह सब अपनी आंतरिक ऊर्जा और आंतरिक प्राकट्य के कारण होता है। 30 से 50% इच्छाएं पूरी होती है, जैसे बैंक बैलेंस होना, अच्छा घर होना आदि। अपने सपने और इच्छाएं पूरी करना, सपने और इच्छाओं की पूर्ति करना ही अभिव्यक्ति प्राकट्य उनके विचारों, अपने विचारों से होते हैं। थोड़े कायदे हैं जिससे हम इनका प्राकट्य कर सकते हैं। यह रहस्यमय कायदे हम सीखेंगे। इनके उद्भव कारक है ABCDEF, यानी यह शब्द क्या है, अ ब क ख ग घ, यानी इसके यह शब्द किस और किसके लिए है। पहले जो भी विचार आते हैं वह दिमाग और दिल में आते हैं, और फिर ही वह भौतिक इच्छाओं से परिवर्तित होते हैं। पहला है डी यानी डिजायर, इच्छा। अगर मन इच्छाएं चाहेगा तभी आपको अपने सपने पूरे हो सकते हैं। अगर आपकी दिल से इच्छा होती है तभी आप उसे पा सकते हैं। दूसरा जो है वो है बी यानी बिलीफ, यानी धारणा। अगर हम उसमें हमारी जो धारणाएं हैं वो बहुत ही गहरी होती है, तभी हम उसे पा सकते हैं, जो भी इच्छाएं हमारी प्रकट होती है। एक्शन यानी कार्य, हमें क्या चाहिए क्या नहीं, उसके लिए हमें मेहनत करके उसके ऊपर हमें काम करना चाहिए। जो चौथा है वो इमोशन यानी भावनाएं। हमारी सकारात्मक विचार या सकारात्मक भावनाएं हमें उस दिशा तरफ ले जाती है जहां हम अपने सपने को पूरा कर सकते हैं। जो पांचवा है वो है F यानी फोकस, यानी एकाग्रता। अगर हमारा एक धारा बहाव अगर निश्चित है तो हम उसे पा सकते हैं। और बाद में जो है वो है कंसिस्टेंसी यानी एक धारा बहाव। अगर हम एक ही अगर रुके बिना एक धारा बहाव से वह काम के पीछे पड़ जाते हैं या करते हैं तो वह पूरा होता है। और दूसरा एक है वो K यानी कर्मा। अगर हमारे कर्म अच्छे नहीं है तब आप कितना भी कोशिश करें हमें वह हासिल नहीं होता है, यानी हमें कर्म अच्छे रखने चाहिए। इच्छाएं, डिजायर इज इनर अर्ज, यानी इच्छाएं वह भीतरी कर्ण है। मन की आंतरिक इच्छाएं जैसे आध्यात्मिक प्रगति, भौतिक चीजों का पाना। अगर आप जिंदगी में खुश रहना चाहते हैं तो मोह और इच्छाएं का त्याग करना सही मार्ग है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। मोह और इच्छाएं अगर हम त्याग कर देंगे तो सन्यासी बन जाएंगे। इच्छा वह रचनाकार का गर्भ है, यानी डिजायर इज अ वम्ब ऑफ क्रिएटर। उदाहरण जैसे विमान है, हम अगर विमान बनाने की इच्छा नहीं होती या उड़ने की इच्छा नहीं होती तो आज विमान बनाना संभव नहीं होता। इच्छाएं किससे उद्भव होती है, तो वह विरोधाभासी स्थिति से ही जन्मते हैं। मनुष्य में बहुत सारी खूबियां हैं। भगवान रचनाकार है जबकि मनुष्य भी रचनाकार है। हम रचनाकार से यह ऊर्जा की शुरुआत हुई है और वह ऊर्जा हम में भी है क्योंकि हम उनके अंश है। उदाहरण, अगर छोटा लोचुंबी का टुकड़ा ले और फिर उनके नियमों के अनुसार वह अनुकरण करता है, वैसे ही बड़ा भी टुकड़ा उसी नियमों के अनुसार अनुकरण करता है। इंसान का जन्म भगवान से हुआ है, यानी हम में भी वह क्रिएटिव पावर्स यानी रचनाकार शक्तियां हैं जो ब्रह्मांड की के रचनाकार में है। इसलिए कह सकते हैं कि इच्छा या मोह पवित्र है, यह प्रकृति के गर्भ से जन्मा हुआ स्वभाव है। हमें बड़े सपने देखकर हमारी क्षमता का निश्चित उपयोग करके उसे आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। इच्छाओं मनुष्य से निकलना संभव नहीं, वह हमारा स्वभाव का अंग है। इच्छाएं कई प्रकार की होती है, जैसे बेसिक डिजायर यानी बुनियादी इच्छाएं जो हमें रहने, घर की इच्छा, खाना पीना रहना वगैरह हमारी बुनियादी इच्छाएं हैं। सोशल इंजीनियरिंग डिजायर यानी सामाजिक अभियांत्रिक इच्छाएं, जैसे सामाजिक एक्सपेक्टेशन इच्छाएं पूरी करना हमारे लिए अनिवार्य बन जाता है। हम अपने परिवार की उम्मीदों के लिए और सामाजिक बंधनों के लिए यह इच्छा पूरी करने का उद्देश्य रखते हैं। तीसरा है लाइफ पर्पस डिजायर यानी जीवन उद्देश्य इच्छाएं। उदाहरण से जैसे सर ने अपना एग्जाम्पल दिया कि सर इंजीनियर है, फिर भी बाद में उन्होंने ये उनका लाइफ पर्पस सोच के आध्यात्मिक पाथ पर चलना, आध्यात्मिक प्रचार करना, लोगों की मदद करना और उनको प्रेरणा देना, यही उनका कर्म समझा और यही इच्छाएं, यही उन्होंने अपना उद्देश्य बनाया। यानी हम ये इच्छाएं पूरी करने के लिए, उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करने के लिए, यानी उसको समान समभाव करने के लिए हम कई बार इस पृथ्वी पे जन्म लेते हैं। इन इच्छाओं हमारे कर्म बंधन से जुड़ी है, वह कर्म बंधन से जन्म लेती है। जैसे अगर आपने एक कंपनी शुरू की और उसमें आपने पैसे रोके, कहीं पैसे डूब जाते हैं, यह शायद आपका कार्मिक बंधन हो सकता है। और तीसरी जो है, चौथी इच्छा है वो बर्निंग डिजायर यानी दमित इच्छाएं। यह ऐसी इच्छा है कि जिनके लिए आप कुछ कोई भी हद तक जाने के लिए तैयार हो जाते हैं या उसको पूर्ण करने की इच्छाएं रखते हैं। पोटेंशियल ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन यानी अभिव्यक्ति की क्षमता और इनबिल्ट मैनिफेस्टेशन यानी आंतरिक तकनीक से इच्छाओं की अभिव्यक्ति कर सकते हैं। इनके पास आप जैसे एक छोटा सा सीड है, उसे अगर वो पौधा भी बन सकता है और जंगल भी बन सकता है, क्योंकि उनके पास अपनी खुद की निश्चित बुद्धि है, क्षमता है जो जंगल में परिवर्तित कर सकते हैं। अपनी खुद की धारणाएं हमें हमारी इच्छाओं को ओके, इनकी प्रजनन भूमि है अपनी खुद की धारणाएं। या तो इसको बना सकते हैं, या तो तोड़ सकते हैं, या तो समाप्त कर सकते हैं। अपनी धारणा की प्रणाली से निर्भर है कि अगर वह सकारात्मक और सही है, आंतरिक उद्भव है, तो वह इच्छाएं की अभिव्यक्ति हो सकती है, इच्छाएं का प्राकट्य हो सकता है। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you.
Sir, I have some problem in my mic, so I
Okay.
can't hear you much. I can hear very low, so I'm sorry for inconvenience.
No, it's okay.